Okay, so this will be a tutorial on how to, from scratch, so those of you who don't have anything, who don't even have herbs or cutting board or anything like that in your house, I did this as a budget to get you kind of started on making loose leaf incenses. Now, this is how I do it. I will stress this again. It may not be how everybody does it. It may not be, the best way to do it. But this is how I do it, and this is if nobody's had any experience whatsoever. So, all of these items I got from some dollar store or another, and I paid, I think it was under $15 for all of this stuff, because the cutting board came with the knife, so that can be used for, any, things that need to be cut up. I realize you don't see a mortar and pestle around here. I'll explain that during the movie or video. I keep 2 little candles burning every single time I do something witchy in the kitchen, and I'm a kitchen witch, so basically that's every time. But anyway, so I'll start with, to start off this, you'll need not only your ingredients, but a little book. And once again, I got this from the dollar store. And I had a pencil around here somewhere. And a pencil to write down, well, I write down everything. But to write down the start of your quantities, because then you can learn it and be like, no, I don't like however much of this item is or how much of that item is. So you can write it down. Well, I write it down. And if I don't like a certain, there's too much, I'm smelling, say, too much rosemary, it can be put like half a batch. I also keep my little sticky notes, and this is a key point. You've got to figure out what you want to do and research what herbs are good for those. And you see I've got a few sticky notes here. I just kind of grabbed whatever I could find. There was 5, but when I did my research, there happened to be only these 4 that I really needed. I have these little teaspoons, and I didn't really need any more teaspoons. I am a cook, and I think I have like 2 sets of these already, so this makes 3, but I am going to just keep these for my incense making and keep them in a kit. So we're gonna start with a slightly larger batch. So I'm gonna do about half a teaspoon, equal parts, probably half a teaspoon of whatever. And I like to get any kind of herb. I prefer whole if I can find it, but this is just dollar store stuff, so we're gonna do half of that. These are all protection herbs. I have a friend who just needed a little bit of protection, and so I'm making an herb batch for them. So that was rosemary, and this is basil. Again, I looked up these properties. May not be, the right ones, but I mean, this is what they said on the internet, and this is what I wrote down, and this is what I have in my herbal book of shadows. And like I said, like I've said on my Facebook and things like that, I have many different, I don't like how this comes out. Maybe just a tiny bit less gentle. I don't like having just one book of shadows for everything. I like to try something first, or put down internet stuff in a different book, and then try it and then put it in my own book of shadows. And I have a couple different ones. I have a kitchen-y one, And I have a normal, and then I have just like a normal spells and stuff like that, and information. And then I probably won't keep these in their bins. I'll probably put them in containers later because I really don't like how most of these come out, as you can see. And for those who have, like I do, and you're like, oh, I don't have a mortar and pestle. Well, you can crush them with a spoon. And I know I don't really like the metal bowls either, but like I said, I did this from having nothing in your house. So if you have a wooden, use a wooden. If you don't have anything and you're really on a budget, these are sold at the dollar store. And if you don't like the spoon, which is doing nothing for me, I got another little bowl, again from the dollar store. Ooh, and my camera fell. Hey guys. Anyway, and just kind of crush them. And I have no luck with charcoal, and charcoal is a bit expensive. So I have two different ways to burn this. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I have two different ways to burn this. And I have this little bowl with salt. Again, I got this little bowl at the dollar store. Salt from the dollar store. And then I got this little tea ball from the dollar store too that you can use as kind of like a sensor. Ugh, the ginger's making me sneeze. Okay, so you can either, and herbs will burn theoretically on their own. So you literally could take this and put it in here, and you may not want to. You may want to either close up the bottom or use less powdery herbs for that. And then another way to do it that I've seen and I thought, okay, that's awesome, is they just kind of, and I've used it ever since because I have really bad luck with charcoal, and this was a really good way to do it. You just roll up a piece of paper, and I quite literally got two of these really big notepads from a dollar store for $2 for $1. So, I mean, cheap, and you probably have paper around your house. You just stick it in the salt. I didn't roll that fast enough. Stick it in the salt as soon as you have it rolled. And you may need to roll it more than once like I did. Just kind of put it there. And just stick it in there. And then put your incense in the piece of paper. Or you could be like me, a little lazy. These are $3 for $1 at the dollar store. And I'm just going to put them in like that. Easy sneezy. And I normally like to use matches, but I can't find my matches at the moment, which is sad because I probably have a lot. Anyway, you just burn the paper, and that'll start to burn incense. There we go. And that's that. I'm going to make a little bit more because I've got another couple things to show you. So I'm going to make a bigger batch. Just actually just gonna eyeball it at this point because I'm not burning it. And already I can tell that that's too much cayenne smelling in the container. That's okay. I would write that down, too much cayenne, maybe half it. I don't really smell the ginger, so maybe double the ginger. Not have it in this stupid little shaker. Pardon the phone going off. And some rosemary. And then some basil. This is protection, for protection. Now, I said I was making this for a friend, and I am. And I eyeballed the quantities because they're not too picky. It's going to be outside anyway. And like I said, the one little thing, and then I found these cute little bottles, and I also found bigger bottles, so that's awesome too. I think this decided to stop burning, so I'm just gonna start that again. There we go. These cute little bottles I also bought 6 for $1, and then there's bigger ones that you can find 3 for $1. Now this is too big to fit in. I was trying to find my other dollar store little, like this is the smallest one in that one, but then at another dollar store I found little beading ones that were perfect for these. But if you hold it, and just kind of stick it in there. Yep, that was a little full. Yep, that's really full. Okay. You have a good little carrying case. Now watch, because these corks like to come out, or sometimes don't like to come out, so that's for that. Or really don't like it, and you don't like the fact that it doesn't sit in there, you can use a piece of paper as a funnel, or to help sit the funnel, and then just kind of lift it up as you go. I'm just gonna put that. Lift it up as you go. And just kind of lightly get in there. Do it over the bowl, unlike me, who's doing it over the table. I can move, but anyway. And that's the cheapest way that you can make loose leaf incense. And it works. And I use it all the time because as much as I like the stick incense, I find that making my own incense, I can do it to the flavors or the scents that I really like. And it's really cheap because you get a big packet. You can go to like Walmart or something like that and get one of those big packets of herbs, and you can split it in half for your kitchen, and then split it in half for your witchy cabinet. And like I said, write everything down in this book. I know I didn't, but I generally do. This is not the normal book I use, but I couldn't find the normal book I use. So, and this was meant for something else, but moment, use it, cherish it. I mean, even the lighter I got at the dollar store. So that just shows you how much you can get at the dollar store and still do your thing as a witch. I mean, you can find stick incenses at the dollar store too. I think here they're 2 for $1, but I really enjoy making mine, and this is for those who really enjoy making theirs. I also use my own herbs, and I mean, you can have your little planters and dry them yourselves, and then you don't have to spend money on these, and you can focus on maybe nicer products. But that's it for this video. Blessed be. Happy crafting.